The role of the CAO, I'll certainly not insult you by telling you your role, because I'm very confident that many of you are seasoned CAOs and town clerks and therefore know what your role is. But maybe to remind you that you are the head of administration of a district, of a city, of a municipal council, as the case may be. Now, the Inspectorate of Government comes in still under the Constitution, but of course operationalized by the different acts of parliament that we have, and this is the Anti-Corruption Act, to investigate and cause investigations, your acts in the course of your work, your acts or inactions. So we investigate or cause investigation. Many times you have seen us write to you CAOs and say, cause investigation here. You are directed to forward this person to the District Service Commission. So that power is enshrined in the Constitution and operationalized in the Inspectorate of Government Act. We also have powers of arrest. We arrest or we can cause arrest. So we write to police and say, arrest this person, or we tell police, you need to arrest this person. We also prosecute. So we can do 3 in 1. We can investigate, cause arrest, and prosecute. So the difference between the IG and the DPP is that the DPP will rely on police to investigate, and then the sanctioning is with the DPP. For us, we have the mandate to do the 3 in 1, to make orders and give directions during investigations. You have seen us ordering you to interdict people. You have seen us ordering, making sanctions, ordering you to inspect or hold people's salaries for a time that we stipulate within which we can investigate or within the law. So we also access and search any premises, property, person, bank account, or safe deposit box, among many other things that we do. I'm conversant that most of you have interacted with us or really have received communication from us, and therefore I don't have to delve so much in the role of the Inspectorate of Government, because it must be something that you know and are aware of. So today I am here as an ombudsman. I'm going to talk about the office of the ombudsman. I am more friendly. I'm going to wear a hat of an ombudsman. I have come here in peace. I have come here to seek collaboration with the CAOs. Why? Because a CAO is the face of government in the district. So to an ordinary person, a CAO is government. So when you see people on the grassroots castigating government for failing to serve, it is the CAO that has failed. And really I am waiting to see the change that is going to happen after this salary increment. Because the last time I was talking to you, you said the problem is salary. Now it has been enhanced. Let us wait and see what will come out of this salary increment. How do we reform our way of thinking? The mind. The mind is such a powerful tool that if whatever you tell your mind is what you become. For me as a Christian, I know that whatever you confess with your mouth, and many of you may be Christians, must be Christians. Not that it's not with the other religions, because I know the Quran and the Bible have, it's just the wording, but more or less the same information. I know that whatever you tell your mind, whatever you confess, if you're a Christian, is what happens, what you become. So our mind is a very important tool, and this mind is what we're going to work on this afternoon. How do we build institutions that serve rather than exploit the public? Using the mind. How are you going to transform the mind of the people that you work with? It's impossible for you to fight corruption or deliver services in the district if you are going to do it alone. You can't do it. I cannot fight corruption alone. We cannot fight corruption alone. That's why we need stakeholders like you to be in sync with us in this fight. So the mind, we're going to look at the mind briefly. It's not something that I can technically talk about. I am a land friend. I studied law, so I don't know medicine to explain. But the little research that I know about the mind is what I'm going to share with you this afternoon. So as accounting officers, you are the technocratic stewards of service delivery in your districts. You are the bosses. You are the kingpins. A CAO is a very important person in a district. The face of government at the local government level. The integrity of your leadership, therefore, defines the integrity of the entire system. In districts, I'm coming to 4 years in this position. In districts where there is poor service delivery, the problem is with the CAO, I can assure you. It is with the CAO. So where there has been a problem with the CAO, that's where you find poor service delivery. So you're very important people. Corruption, as you know, undermines everything, every good government policy. Uganda, we have one of the best, we're a country that has one of the best laws worldwide. But it is said that they are implemented elsewhere. I don't know if you have heard that. So corruption is very deadly. It undermines public service delivery, it erodes trust. People lose trust in the government of the day. You've heard in the past people say, President Jango Tuyambe, President Museveni. You know what that means? Because they think he's the only one who can solve their problems. It means you and I have failed, but in most cases you and not me, because for me I am doing my work. It of course increases the cost of doing business and also fuels inequality. It fuels annoyance. People get angry. It fuels instability, you know, in homes, in society, in institutions, etc. And this corruption that we all know is not a legal issue. Of course, we have the laws that are in place. I mean, you could think about all the laws. We have the Anti-Corruption Act, we have the Finance Management Act, we have the Penal Code Act. There's so many acts and policies in place, but this kind of corruption that we face today as a country is not just a problem, a legal problem. It's a cultural, it's a moral issue that you and I have to devise means of handling. So therefore the mind, or what we refer to as the mindset, the mind refers to a set of beliefs or attitudes that shape how individuals perceive the world and themselves. What people think, I just said that what people think they are, what you think you are, is what exactly you will be, and that's it. If you think that you are corrupt, if you believe that corruption can't be fought, then it cannot be fought, because that is what your mind is going to deliver. The mind influences how individuals think, feel, and behave in various institutions. And shortly I'm going to tell you how this culminates into poor service level, or where you have to come in. Therefore, an individual's mindset contributes to his or her performance. If you think you are lazy, if you're a lazy person, if the mind is lazy, you've seen it in their writing, their mediocres, it's also going to be translated in their output. So the mind is everything. Buddha says, there's a quote, the mind is everything. What you think is what you become. You say you were a failure, you become a failure. Me, I'll never be promoted, it's what comes out. The cow who once told me, and he's retired, this government will never increase the salary of cows. No wonder he has retired without getting this benefit. So because that's what he believed. Maybe if he had faith that government would increase, that things would get better, then he would have benefited from this increment. So that's how powerful the mind is. So beyond rules and punishment, of course there is enforcement. We do enforcement, I just took you through it. We can arrest you, we can confiscate your property, we have confiscated property, we can ask you to refund money, and we can also prosecute you in the courts of law. All that is enforcement. But ladies and gentlemen, laws alone aren't enough. Laws are not enough. The cultures that we build in our institutions are very critical for us to deliver on a different mandates. Uganda has many excellent laws, like I've told you, their regulations, policy framework, etc. But despite all this that we have in two places, we have police, we have the prisons, I mean, we have all these security sectors, but still it remains a problem. So what's the problem? The mindset. The mindset change is important to align with the values and beliefs that you want to be seen in that organization that you lead. We must restrain our teams to view public service not as a means to enrich ourselves, but as a moral and civic duty. Unfortunately, to me, when I was growing up, I was told that if you want to serve, you had to join government. But today it's different. People, because the mindset has changed, that if you enter government, you must eat. So that mindset can only be changed by you as an accounting officer, by creating a fresh culture and sell it out to your team so that your team can adopt that. And I'll show you how just in a bit. So some of these cultures that facilitate corruption in your institutions are these. In case you didn't know, please register them. Culture of silence and fear. Some of you think that if you instill fear in your institutions, then people are going to do the right thing. They will only do it because they fear you. They will not do it because it's the right thing. So the culture that you instill in your organization. When I joined the Inspectorate of Government, I had a problem with my team because I was coming from the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs. And there you work overtime. So I would work up to 8, 10, and you see the secretaries are a bit uncomfortable. They want to go home. What is Madam thinking? She does not think about us. But it's the culture I knew, that you don't work, you don't work time. You work what you have to. So that's the culture that is inculcated in the military, that within a short time, you must deliver. You don't investigate for 2 years. You don't write to a CAO, and when they wake up to remember to write back to you, is when because it's a culture that has been instilled in the military. So that's the culture I'm talking about. Culture of silence and fear that you inculcate in your institutions, where whistleblowers are punished. There's nobody who asks questions. This culture breeds corruption, lack of transparency, decisions made behind closed doors, records are inaccessible, you don't share information, people don't know what is coming up, they're only surprised. Oh, the CAO is in Kampala. What is the problem of telling your team, I'll be away in Kampala for this training? It builds confidence, it builds trust. Be leaders, not bosses, okay? Inform, you go to a district, where's the CAO? We don't know a CAO, they are looking for you. I'm in Kampala for you know, this what you're doing here. Lack of transparency, even with the little things. If you're not transparent, it's going to breed corruption. Lack of accountability. Zero consequences for misconduct. People come late and it's the normal. Do you have a CAO from Kisoro? Please stand up. No wonder the CAO is not here. Is the CAO for Kisoro here?
CAO Kisoro.
Ah, you see? So I'm not even... Is the CAO here? Jackie, is the CAO for Kisoro here? The town clerk. So now, even you see, I could just think of, because the time I went to Kisoro and there was nobody in office. So they come at 11, at 10. What culture have you built in your institution? And there are many others. My colleagues will be here to answer your questions, and they'll show you what we have been getting in the country. So lack of accountability. People don't, there are no consequences for actions. Consequences for actions, to whom it may concern. And really I feel sorry, because if we all parents, the majority of us I'm sure are parents, your children are going to inherit that. You leave a district, they come. So systems are completely broken down, because when you had an opportunity to be in office, you did not use it. There's a story that I have that really touched me. There's a CAO from a certain district in the east. I met him and I was always fighting with him with paying people on time, having his things timely, records on time. And soon after he had retired, 3 months, he was all over the place. My personal assistant knows the story. Do you have the microphone to share that story of that CAO? Madam, this is unfair. The man had just retired 3 months. And the same things I was struggling with him, he was now facing them. So, what is my, you remember the story of the CAO? You don't have to mention names.
So this CAO, the number of times we interfaced with him, he had issues like removing people from the payroll, and his staff were assisted in following him up, requesting to be put back on the payroll. Were never put back. Delayed payments of pensions and gratuities. Most of the staff in the district were never paid. The teachers were crying about salaries, so there was really an issue about payment. Now, When he retired, unfortunately for him, the same thing happened to him. But for him, I think it was about 3 months. After 3 months, he was already crying. So he came to office, he was crying to Madam, bargaining, please help me, I'm tired, I've gone to so many places, I'm seeking for help.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. And I found it very difficult to tell the PS of local government to act, because just 3 months ago I was complaining about the same cow. Now how do I go back and spray the same cow? I am not very sure if we have handled that matter. So you're going to reap what you sow. Please make use of the time you are in office, put systems in place. You are not permanently there. There's even another one who got a problem, a health problem, and I had been complaining, now they're already out. And then, so please, ladies and gentlemen, the things we talk about are things that we have seen, and the things that you can still account, that you can still change, because you now have the opportunity that you're in the office. So there should be accountability, not just for funds, but even for conduct. People should account for their conduct. Weak ethical leadership. I'm just giving you the characteristics of cultures that facilitate corruption. Weak ethical leadership. It is said that leadership, everything starts from leadership. Leaders who turn a blind eye or actively participate. And some of you are really despised. I have to be very honest with you, because we get whistleblowers from your staff. So this one is nothing. I wouldn't want to be defined in such a way. This cow, someone really is despising your leadership. So I want to call upon you to be strong, ethical leaders. And if you're doing the right thing, of course you're not going to be popular, which is okay. If you want to be popular, it is said you sell ice cream. So if you don't want to be despised, you can't be despised, and you only get respect from your home. So even in your workplace, these people who whistleblow and complain about your conduct shouldn't be given an opportunity to see through that. So how do we cultivate a culture of integrity in our institutions? Psychological safety. Employers should feel safe to speak up, report concerns without fear, zero tolerance to corruption. We want to start what is called sector ombudsmen. We have discussed, and we are going to roll them out. We're going to require a CAO to get somebody who is respected in the organization, and they can be heard by the employees so that they feel safe. If they can't feel safe to go to a CAO, or if somebody comes and tells you, but CAO, this is happening, then you don't have to, share it with the other colleagues. A CAO is there to provide psychological safety and comfort and confidence, meritocracy while hiring, promotion and procurement based on objective criteria. People, we've conducted a research that will soon be released on District Service Commission, the cost of corruption in hiring in District Service Commissions. But the meritocracy, oh my God. You have seen these things, and we've written to you, but when you want to cultivate a culture of integrity that is going to cause a mindset change, then you must hire on merit. Why do you want somebody who has failed because they are relative to be in the district, to be a policy analyst, really? Because they are your relative. You are killing a whole district, you're killing a generation. Radical transparency, open decision making, accessibility, public records, clear communication, okay? Admit mistakes, explain decisions, welcome scrutiny. All of us make mistakes. My directors can walk to me and say, but madam, this shouldn't have been done this way. And I am, open to criticism, positive criticism. So some cows are kings, you can't talk about them. But now that you have been given a salary increment, we expect much. I already went through the functions, the roles of the Inspectorate of Government. You don't want embarrassment. Some cows are transferred from station to station because people are complaining that is not going to happen anymore. Because once you have this salary increment, just know that the deputy is looking at you with squints. I have to be very honest. So many people now are very eager to take on your positions, so which you must guard them jealously. You don't want to be the cow who is interdicted. That because it's after 3 months I go back, but what kind of legacy are you leaving? That you are a cow who is despised. But in your performance. Shared ethical values, doing the right thing is the norm and it is expected. I will still give an example of the military, that doing the right thing was expected. If you are expected to be here at this time, you must be there. If the presentation is at 2:45, I must be here. Nobody is going to remind you. Please, 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 CAOs, put that in your, inculcate that culture in your organizations. People to do the right thing willingly. You don't have to run after people because that is the culture here. But I'm saying all this, I know that there are CAOs that are really doing very well. And if my people have the CAOs, because I told them to get the list of CAOs that are doing better than others. And this was going to be the opportunity where we want to mention them. I hope you have a list of our 10 so that we mention them and know them. May I also tell you that we have started a habit, a culture. We've introduced a new culture of writing to the CAOs to commend them. If you imagine you have a letter from the Inspectorate of Government commending you on your work, you don't know how important that letter is until you need it. Recently we were doing recruitment in office, and people were bringing letters. This is what my CAO once wrote to me. Of course, CAOs don't write. The letters were from, which is very bad, because motivation is not just about money. Okay? Even just writing to your office and say, this was done well. It will take them 2-3 months and you'll get results. So we are going to start writing to CAOs. I don't know if they remember to get the list of the 10 CAOs we want to write to say there may be issues, but we are happy that this is going right. That letter, you can use it anywhere, and I'm sure that even your children will be proud to see that my father or grandfather once did this. Those that are not clapping are those who don't hope to get a letter from us. But really, if you are performing and you hope to receive this letter, I expect you to be clapping and really be happy about this initiative. Empowered and ethical leadership. Leaders model integrity. They champion ethics and hold everyone accountable. Staff must be exposed to the real cost of corruption. I mean, show them. You are parents. Tell them the real cost of corruption, not in monetary terms. Tell them that if you get a person who has not qualified to be a doctor, let me tell you, like day follows night, it will catch up with you. Because you'll go to the hospital, in theater, in coma, you'll meet that very doctor. I'm not telling stories. You know, I like my personal sister because when we get these stories, she's a lawyer. I tell her, keep these on mine so that you tell people. Can you tell them the story of the URA guy?
Now what happened was, the importer went and saw him on the side, paid him some money, and he released the tires. Little did he know that this would catch up with him at some point. Now what happened to this gentleman, his family was moving from one place to another. I don't want to mention because you might know who we are talking about. So his family was moving in a taxi, and as fate would have it, this taxi had tires. The tires that were on this taxi were part of those that had been impounded. As day would follow night, the tire burst, there was an accident, and 2 members of his family died. Another one was taken to ICU. Another one had broken limbs, and well, that's what happened to him.
And many other stories. It catches up with you. Karma, you've heard of karma? Karma, you leave karma alone. I've seen karma and I'm saying, even you. I'm always left in wonder in what turns out. So use the opportunity that God has given you to serve, to do the right thing, because it will catch up with you. If it doesn't catch up with you, it will catch up with your child. If it doesn't catch up with your child, when you're still alive, it will catch up with your grandchildren. So please do the right thing. I want to implore you. Reframe loyalty from individuals to country. Why do you want people to be loyal to you? I mean, do the right thing. People, this one is for me, this one is not for me, especially these politicians. And what's very interesting is that in most cases, the people you think are for you, for us the investigators, have a different story. So treat people as people, because you just never know who is not for you. People are people. If we start to investigate, I see a gentleman who has understood, I think he has been a victim, he's shaking his head. People are people. The people who whistleblow against you are usually the people very close to you, that you think are loyal to you. So treat people. These are God's people. Treat them in the right way, in the way you would want to be treated. Encourage, put a culture inculcate a culture of loyalty to the country, to public service, not to you as an individual, because tomorrow, if you're not there, they will not be loyal to you, and you have left, so there will be no one to be loyal to you, and they will not serve. Build moral courage, training in self-reporting channels, whistleblowers, etc. Positive role modeling, highlighting and celebrating ethical champions. Celebrate people like we're going to celebrate the CAOs and TCs. Whoever is performing, I write to you a letter and say, hey, I am performing. So that next time, State House Anti-Corruption Unit wants to arrest you, say, but you see, I was once recognized. You can't say that I'm a corrupt person. I have this to show that I'm a person who delivers. That letter is very important for you, even in your retirement. Mindset change involves shifting from compliance mentality. Ethical ownership. Let people don't govern too, because you have the powers. And you frustrate people, because a cow can frustrate you. True. A cow, you know, sometimes you look at people and say, really cow, even if somebody was to be patient, in 10 years you will not be here. But what will happen? And you're even frustrating a person who is much junior than you. They will grow in rank. Your children will find them there. Ethical ownership. What's in it for me? This kind of mentality must be stopped. Cows, are you please listening to me, or we stand up and do? You know, we had a very good lunch, so I want to be sure that people are listening. Because I'm at pain with what is happening. I see it every day. I see it every day. Adults of sound mind, old men and women doing things and you even wonder. You don't have to. You don't have to. You can even come here and you don't get, what do they call it? The money they give them and they take. But it's okay. The knowledge you're getting is enough. You don't have to kufuna buli chokola, but that culture is in public service. That everything you do, you must do what? There must be a kickback. There must be something for you. Sometimes you might get something. I'm not saying in terms of kickback, but I'm saying sometimes you can get a reward that is intrinsic. You can't put money to it. Everything does not have to have a monetary value. So what's in it for me? That culture must stop in government, and it can only be stopped by you, the accounting officers in the districts. Fear of punishment. Let people fear that there is a cost to their actions. If you know that nothing is going to happen, then you will not care. If you devise means on how you go, records assistant has hidden a book. Even a cow can't. You go to some districts. And I think maybe the cow, what is this? It is the records officer. Really? You are the boss. I think, Commissioner, you need to do certain training. You go to districts and people tell you, the cow refers you to a junior. You are the boss. That one supervisor knows better. Where is the PHO? The supervisor knows. How? You're not in charge. And now that you have salary increment, I am going to act. Cows. In fact, the letters I write, I'm going to be reminding you. Refer to the salary increment. Is there anyone who has never received a letter from me and is a cow here? You put up your hand. Which cow from where? About anything in your district. Most of cows have written to you. So I will include that paragraph. To remind you that much more is expected from you. Many institutions fail not because they lack the rules, but because they are unwritten rules. Teach abantu mbasomese soft skills. Soft skills are the ones that help in life. Cows. Today I came to talk like an ombudsman. Soft skills of kindness, of compassion, of hard work, of courteousness, of politeness. Teach people that. It's a culture. Everything can be learned. Not so? Teach people soft skills. We had a recruitment exercise. Somebody comes, they are very brilliant, but you even see them at the panel. They are argumentative. Almost they want to ask you the question, you answer the question yourself. Soft skills, and they have good grades. They are challenging you and you wonder, but this is an interview panel. Somebody is challenging you. Because you haven't taught them, you're their leaders, you're their bosses, and you ask them, do you have a mentor? Now you leave the interview. You say, do you have a mentor? Soft skills, what culture have you taught in your organization? I hope I'm still in time. Common unethical conduct by CAOs. Now I'm going to tell you what we know that you do. Because sometimes when we don't say these things, you think we don't know. No, we know. And now that you have a salary increment, we expect better. It is going to come in the letter. It's going to be the last paragraph of every letter I write. Giving passwords to junior officers to approve payments on their behalf on the IFMIs. Why would you do that? Batch approval of payments without checking them, hence allowing irregular payments to slip through. Making payments to contractors without doing proper due diligence. And then you complain because you have kickback money that is going to cost you. Let me tell you. If you pay those contractors and they do shoddy work and somebody dies on that road, my friend, the blood of that person is also in your hands. Yes, you don't have to have participated physically. The blood is on your hands. That's why some people say, my friend, you are paying. You reap what you sow. You are paying for those tears. If somebody comes before you and they go back crying, my friend, it will never go well with you. It doesn't. Because some people, you talk to them and say, "Nay, madam, binebintu seko, wakale na linchali muto na hivi no, nedate wali muto." I don't think there's a cow who can send muto. So, making payments to contractors is a very serious problem, and I have examples here. My people were very kind to give me examples. So there are times when we have to name and shame. Hey, you people took the... Where is the... I want to name and shame some people here. The document you gave me. Making payments to contractors without doing proper due diligence. For example, Kabong district. Where's the cow? I want to clap for you. Did something good. Please clap. Please stand up. Kabong district, please stand up. But Jackie, whoever I have called and is not here, my people take... Hey. No, whoever, the other one I called was Kisoro. I want to follow up. Unless because every cow should be here. So Kabong district, since you've stood up, you understood that administration block, eh? Okay, let me keep quiet. Okay, you keep quiet, but it's an example here that they've given me, but let me not embarrass you. Okay. Mukono district. Where's the cow Mukono district? Mukono district cow. Jackie, where's cow Mukono district? Okay, I want to see them before I go. Anyways, they're out. Transferred 237 million to Kome Primary School bank account in June. The funds were for construction, etc. Not good. If you are here, I don't read what you have done. If you are not here, I read and everybody knows. So these are some of the cases. TCs have failed to account. Okay. It is here. Let me proceed. Transfer of funds to contractors and staff bank accounts towards the end of the financial year to prevent it from being returned to the consolidated fund. Why? Why do you do that? Because you have kickback you are waiting for, so you want to protect this money. Colluding with their officers to override internal controls by disregarding set out procedures. Even the examples are here. Whereas accounting officers can delegate responsibilities to other officers, they remain personally liable or accountable in cases of any wrongdoing. Failure of leadership. Leadership is everything. High absenteeism rates of staff. When the CAO or the town clerk is absent, the other staff take advantage and do not report at work. So that's why I'm saying you are the problem. And for me, because you have now started increment, the issue of absenteeism must stop. Because sometimes when you go, a cow will say, Madam, I do some small business, so I had gone to the market, and of course you were a parent and say, okay, you say, oh, don't do it again, and you don't take action. But now with salary increment, we will take action. Some CAOs have failed to take action against the staff they supervise. But why don't you? Why do you want people to despise you? So you meet your staff and they say, me, I wouldn't be what I am, but my CAO is clumsy. God forbid that you are called clumsy. How? That's what they call you. I don't know if you brought the other... Did you come with any regarding them? The CAO from that western part of the country who wrote... I think she hasn't come with it. I was going to read for you. You hear without mentioning names how people despise you. So that should not be your portion. You should avoid being despised, because these whistleblowers write very interesting things. Ghost employees or employees who abandon duty but are still on payroll. Why do you do that? People are looking for jobs and then you leave people on the payroll. Those are unethical behaviors that breed a culture. There's a time we were in Kasada district. Where's Kao Kasada? Kasada. She's very hardworking. It's not bad. You clap for her. But she knows. You remember when we went to your health center, and the girl said, "Madam Musonyiwa, what were they doing? Who were with you in Kasada?"
There were people working in the lab.
Sit down, ma'am.
There were staff that were working in the lab, so they were soliciting money from patients that came to do typhoid and malaria.
So, and yes, you know what she said? She said, "Madam, forgive me." I said, "Well, when I came here, this supervisor told me this is what I should do. And I've been doing this for the last 2 years." True story. Because that's how the person was mentored. And of course, they were very honest. I had to warn them. Because they were honest. We said, "Oh, we'll do it because that's what he told us. This is what we do." Why would you do that? I really despise that gentleman who was teaching very young people in their 20s. If you were already rotten, please do let young children be. People are 20, 30, small children. And then you are teaching them those things that remain in the system. So the onus is on you, now that you have a certain increment, to ensure that the right thing is done. Corruption in recruitment of staff. So we're going to share a report very soon, to share a report with the country on our findings in corruption in the District Service Commission, what we found out. But in brief, about 82% of job applicants identified bribery as the most form of corruption in the recruitment process. Imagine over 82% of people, of Ugandans, have to pay money to get into employment. For the period 2018 to 2022, job applicants at local governments paid bribes amounting to 29 billion. Bribes asked for vary by sector, position, and seniority. You know that. You know now the science sector, people pay 50 million, 40 million. You know the jobs for 3 million, but you are just getting your set of classes. And please, it is true, it is a true story. Me, I see people coming to me writing stories, and even sometimes I want to forgive them, but I can't forgive them because this is government money. I'm also just a worker. I cannot say I'm forgiven. But where they deserve forgiveness? What the life has squeezed them so much. What's the story of the accountant? Life has squeezed them so much out of their actions. You remember the accountant?
So there's an accountant who had the practice of removing people, putting people on and off the payroll.
The accountant I'm talking about had stolen money, and we asked him to pay. Yes.
So that one had stolen money, he was told to refund. When he came to meet
He was a
Madam,
CFO.
he looked really, he was a shadow of his former self. He had really lost weight, he looked really bad. Now when he came to meet Madam, he explained that, you know what, I could repay the money if I could, but right now, actually, they said it in Uganda,
Amaziga, the tears of people have followed me, and his wife had gone through that process. She had cancer, and it was a bad story. And I really wished in my heart of hearts to forgive, but I had no powers to forgive. I could only extend the period within which the person could pay. So other examples of unethical behaviors by the CAOs, corruption in procurement contracts, you know that. And even you give somebody who's not who can't do the job. If you are really eating money, you give somebody who you know is going to perform. Sometimes you make it even so hard The kickback is so big. When I was investigating KCCA, we found that people were asked with kickbacks, very big kickbacks, that they couldn't do anything. So you find that that's why people don't deliver. You've asked almost 70% of the price, and he's only taking 30%, and he can't deliver. So that's the reason we have shoddy works. Money for road works, you know what the president has said on the 1 billion. Commander-in-Chief has already given a directive. I pray that after this salary increment, you don't fall victim of that 1 billion. Conflict of interest. You have, I mean, conflict of interest. How can you have your wife, PHO is your son? So who is going to supervise the other? And there is no problem with that, because, you know, some things may be morally wrong, not necessarily legally wrong. Now, you are saying there's no problem for me to employ my what? My father, my son in the CFO. Son is safe. But that one sacrificed and went and joined the... You why didn't you go to the bush? Why didn't you go to fight? Why didn't you join the military? And also, these hands are not equal. My friend, if you think you're also the president, you employ your son as PHO. That's commander-in-chief. Okay? But anyway, the issue is, don't divert me from the issue.
But you have time to discuss, you can put down your notes.
Don't divert me from the issue, because if I'm arresting you and you give that reason, you may not survive. So conflict of interest, do something because it is right. Don't do it because somebody else has done something wrong. You do something and you'll be proud of yourself. Do something because it is right, not because somebody else is doing it. Because so and so has done this, I also must do this. Conflicts within local governments. You have toxic environments. There is a cow. Was she a cow? Okay. But let me not talk about it. You know, ladies are very sensitive. If you talk about them, you can make their day very bad. And the husbands will suffer. If I stress the ladies here, the husbands may suffer. So, but you make a toxic work environment. You cows. People can't work. They are fighting. That infighting, we get, of course, so many complaints. And we have come up with the alternative dispute resolution as one of the mechanisms we employ to solve conflicts. So I want to implore you couples, when people are conflicting, please bring them together. Solve their conflicts. It could be as slow as whenever I come to office, this one looks at me badly. We get such conflicts, I'm in a meeting, he keeps pointing at me. We get such conflicts. And then you're thinking, what is the cow doing? This really should be at a cow level, because that breeds mistrust, and that mistrust can be a fertile ground for corruption. Forgery of academic qualifications and impersonation, and you look away. For example, secretary and chair. Where's Carino? Kao Carino. Standard. You know about that issue? You know it? Okay, you sit down. You clap for him. Why are you clapping for him? The issue is not secure. No, okay. Chenjojo. What's Chenjojo? Chenjojo. Chenjojo. You know about the principal human resource officer, stock secretary to the service commission, who uttered false documents? Yes. You clap for him. Now you have done that right. No, you don't clap. I'm trying to show you some of the forgeries that my people gave me. Payroll fraud, as well as delayed or non-payment of salary. Somebody works. You know, I told you that a cow can frustrate you. You frustrate people. Why? Somebody has worked. They have a family. They have children. They have children to take to school. And because you want to be bribed to put for the person's name to get on the payroll, is that what they do? People, if you are eating, you eat stuff. Yeah. Why do you eat people's salaries? It is even biblical. Those are curses that you bring on your own children. When those children are home and they're not in school, your own children will reap. What are you going to do today? I am finishing my presentation. What can you do today? all of you, from what I've said, you're going to go back and do something to improve the mindset, okay? You're going to improve the mindset. Find ways. I've just been giving examples here and there because I don't have so much time, but find ways. You call people like us. I've never seen a cow inviting me to their district. Lisa has been in the institution for 14 years, 15 years. Has a cow ever invited a night? You call me, I talk to your staff. Don't think for me. Has a cow ever called any of us?
In the region, we have in the region.
Which district is that?
Region, in Bali.
You put Mbali, you write for another region? Bunyangabo, you write. If you have called my people, you write. You call me and I motivate your people. Say you come and talk to our people. You just call me. But you fear what? You know that when you call me, I will come and speak to your staff. I tell them the value of excellency. I tell them to love, to serve, tell them the value of service, and then you will see, you will thank me later because you're going to have a motivated team that is going to deliver. What are you saying, sir?
I was saying it's better to start with the politicians.
I do, I come. I have talked to a number of politicians many times. But you see, for you, the technocrats are really direct. Not that the politicians cannot be equipped, but you are directly under me because you have these resources. You have control over the resources. Yes, some of you, do you think you are the only ones who go through, what is that, political, no, people pushing you to do the wrong thing. You're not the only ones who are intimidated, even us. But you stand your ground. Many of you, when we touch you, we call this one and so, but have you seen me cowardize? No, I still come for you. So you're not the only ones. You should be able to stand up against the politicians, and I'm here to support you. I want to protect a cow who is being victimized. I have protected before. Was it massacre? A politician called them from where this one must change. I said, no way. And I want to also thank your PS. Your PS is very protective of his people. I didn't want you to clap for him because sometimes he really annoys me. This one, no, look at his age. This one I tell you can reform. We're not going to get angels. He's busy. We will get the angels, they're there in society. Anyway, now that you have a salary increment, I hope you will not mention that again and remind me, look at their age, but this one has really been serving, it is a mistake. He has just made a mistake. No, stop the mistakes because now there is salary increment. Conduct institutional corruption risk assessments as well as integrity self-assessments. Write that. And then you're going to call me and I tell you how to do it. Very simple. But you change the mindset for the good of the country, you people. The other day the president said, if he was to arrest, who would stay in service? Which is very sad but also true. Huh? Where are we taking our country? Uganda is the only place we call home. We should stop laughing about some of these things. Muchisusa, don't chisusa. Hold quarterly public accountability town halls. Yes. I come to your districts and see some people can't attend meetings. Sometimes you win, other times you don't win. Sometimes also you overfight with these politicians. I know that many times they want you to do the wrong thing. They're the ones who instigate the fights. But let them win sometimes. And I also meet them and tell them, don't be too much. Be open. These public accountability town halls will ensure that everybody speaks their mind. They are accountable. Let somebody openly say why they are always constantly late. Today, if it's not your mother sick, my child, my leg, my what, we all know all those reasons. But on the day when the salary comes or there's allowance, they are not sick, they are present. Streamline procurement and record keeping, support digital records and e-procurement. Reward ethical conduct and celebrate clean leadership. Create a clean employee of the year award. Yes! Reward people, it doesn't have to be monetary rewards. Write to them letters. Pin it on the notice board. And then that person will not change. Then next month, let it be another person. The other month, another person. Change the culture of your organization. And now that I have talked to you, when I come, I'm going to ask for all those 4 that I have mentioned, what you have done. Please, when I come, I've stolen for you exams. I'm going to ask you what you have done to change the culture of your district. Collaborating with the IG as CAOs, the path to transforming local governments lies with you. Now it is even going to be worse. Now that there is, so whoever is, a lot is expected of you. That one I'm going to say it in the district, and even people, your own staff, want you to be held accountable because they are going to get so. In fact, I've already started getting complaints, even just at the thought of it, that you're going to earn what you're going to earn. So please ensure that it is worth the effort. We must adopt preventive and collaborative approaches and not punitive. And what has the IGG decided? That we must protect the CAOs. We must protect the accounting officers. If somebody comes reporting, now the PS has also convinced me because he keeps telling me, but now I think I'm also convinced, let me protect the accounting officers. I will protect you against, and sometimes I do it. Where is the cow in Tunga? This is the new cow. So the other one, when they would, please sit, sir. So when they would complain, no, he has no problem. But when they would complain about the former cow, and they are complaining, the chairman, I would say, but this is the 12th cow in 1 year. Is the problem the cows, you know? It was too much. But assert yourself. Don't be cowardice. We listen. We can appreciate your struggles. We know the challenges that you face in the districts with the engineers, with the chairman. We also know that that is not your home district, so there will be some resistance. We understand all that, but remember to remain on the correct track. Now, because you've been asking for kickbacks, you can't ask for them anymore because you have. So, designate district-level anti-corruption focal persons. Share your quarterly audit findings with our regional offices. Alert us. When I visit you, I'm going to ask for the other things, the form. Alert us where you face political pressure to bend rules. We shall defend the lawful. If you must forget anything today, I want you to count on me to defend you if you're doing the right thing. Your integrity defines the credibility of the institutions you head. Let me tell you, a time is going to come when you're not in those offices. What is going to be said about you? What do you want to be remembered for? There is an institution where they say, Alia or Batalia. You don't be the cow who they say Alia. All these years you're in this office, you're building your legacy. What will we remember about you? In his district, where he is in Ntungamo, I went there and but the other district, were they referring to the district chair? Okay, let me not give examples to make people uncomfortable. But there's a district I've been to, and then there's, but the other man, why don't you be that cow? When the other cow was still here, why should the people be brave? There's going to be consequences for your actions. If you do something good, I was sharing with, I think, the gentleman from finance, with Charles, and we said that sometimes you are very unpopular for doing the right thing. I know that. You're very unpopular for doing the right thing. But you know the truth will vindicate you at one time when you least expect it. There's a time I was, when I was still a principal legal officer in the Ministry of Defense, so there's a time we got money over and above what you would get. So, of course, being a lawyer, I know that it's not good no, it's illegal to be paid twice from the consolidated fund. Not so. You don't have to be a lawyer to know that. But also me now with my legal background, I know that it has consequences. So I picked the money and took it back. I thought everybody would clap for me. No. If I really became unpopular and there were some consequences, there are some things that you were getting that you don't get. But when I went to Parliament for, what is that called? Vetting, thank you. Have you been to Parliament? So when I went to Parliament for vetting and I was asked, can you prove that you are a person of integrity? You see? So my unpopular, because I had a receipt to show that I had returned the resources. So my unpopular action then was able to do what? To vindicate me. And that spoke, you know. So you are going to be unpopular for doing the right thing. But let me tell you, not everybody in this country is corrupt. Not everybody in this country does the wrong thing. Some people may be quiet. Don't take them for being foolish. They are watching you. They are seeing. They know that things are not right. They know where you don't go wrong. There are many decent people in this country that want to see a country that is prospering. So I want to urge you to be part of that team. They are there. There are many. I've seen them. I've seen CAOs. I've seen RDCs. I've seen politicians who come and say, this is wrong. I have no strength to say it now or to come out and condemn it, but it is wrong. So many people see what is wrong. So have the courage to do the right thing. And you can stand alone. Ofangu msajja. Sichejo? So do not wait for the others to do what you know is right. Don't tell the other person to take credit. They are watching you. As soon as you leave, they will come and do what you are doing. And then you say, but even this one, I thought he was on my side. Totally different. Okay? Beware of human beings. Human beings are not, they can be swayed. Okay? Do the right thing. Your conscience should be your badge. If your conscience is not clear about something, you don't have to do it to please anybody. Politicians, they come and go. They move from party to party. But you are a public servant. You owe your allegiance to your country. You owe your allegiance to the people that you're serving. But above all, you owe that allegiance to God, because you are serving on behalf of God. In those positions God has put you there for a purpose, so don't let him down. Let your name be remembered not just as a CAO, but a reformer. May you be remembered as a reformer. And the last slide, I told you I'm a Christian, so for me, I want to leave you with Galatians. Okay, forget everything else when you go back. But remember Galatians 6:7. Who else is a Christian? And then they tell it to me. They read that for me. Let me see a bold cow who is a Christian. The one of Kasada is a Christian. You stand up and read that. For the rest. Hallelujah. So I want someone to say it in Uganda. Who is a Christian? Even cows are not Christian. Please, sir. Even in the Muslim, Hajat, that isn't it relatable in the Quran? It's relatable. We'll give you a microphone after that. You read it from the beginning. So that's how you beat processes in his district. Do not be deceived. Yogera mu Luganda. Do not be deceived. Follow the Egyptian. Ono muleke waliwo Muganda omulala owe Masaka ali wakawo Masaka. It doesn't mean that they are Baganda. Who is a Muganda? Where's Jackie? Jackie, get me a Muganda cow. Chasaku, your salary has been increased. To that. Please clap for him to give him courage as he walks to the front. Bagambe.
The last one.
Is that do not be deceived? Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Katonda tasekererwa omuntu kyasiga
kyakungula mumukubire mu ngalo. Ebyo byonna bye mbagambye, it is true. This one is very true. Okukungula kubeerayo kubanga ne bw'osiga ekijanjalo kimu okungula bimeka kati bwe obbye ssente z'omuntu omu, if you still only one person's money, bwekizo bajja kubbaneza abaana bo bakole nga tebabasasula. Muwulize n'ebyo mwebale nnyo okumpuliriza. Thank you so much for listening to me and I'm hoping you